Hello everybody and welcome back. Omega Given here. Today I want to show you another project of mine that hopefully will inspire you to do cool stuff, because cool stuff is cool stuff. So I'm going to switch to my other cam just so you can see what it is while I tell the story. Of course, I'm going to just explain what it is really quick so all you people that are only here for 30 seconds can see. This right here is a ergonomic keyboard that you can build yourself. I got this one specifically from Bastard Keyboards. This is the Cherbis version of their stuff. So basically you can buy it yourself a DIY kit and you can build this out yourself. Kind of a cool little project for you guys. It's a little pricey. So just big preface of price on the beginning of this project. If you want to follow suit, it's not like a free project, but you can probably be able to build from the ground up yourself cheaper. But this is if you don't want to go through all the technical stuff of actual like the boards themselves and everything like that. But let me tell you the story of this thing. So basically earlier this year, I switched jobs. I was a back-end developer at one job that was kind of slow. It felt like a lot slower, slower pace as far as closing out tickets, starting new tickets, doing a lot more troubleshooting, debugging, to a newer job where I basically aid developers in developing towards my company's endpoints and stuff like that. So I'm doing a lot of back-end database searching and stuff like that using SQL. I'm building lots of automation tools in various languages to do the work that I do. And you can see on my other project, I do a lot more browser interface kind of stuff as well. So with that in mind, I went from one job where I was typing some to a job where I was typing almost 10 times the amount a day, just typing, because I was just going ham at programming and stuff like that. So with that, it came with a lot of pain. I'm at the age where, even though I don't look it, I look really young. I'm at the age where my hands are just starting to like ache when I type on a flat keyboard, because I was using a MacBook and Magic keyboard when I first started at this new job, and it would hurt my hands so much to type. Mainly because I was doing a lot of commands, and commands you're doing like this kind of stuff, like cranking your hand in a horrible position. And it basically I had to splint these two fingers because it hurt so bad. And I took this keyboard to work after a bit because I'm just like, I gotta have some ergonomics to it, and that helped a bit, but there's still some pain. So I asked my wife if we could budget it out, that I could get myself something nice, something real nice. So basically, we had a maximum budget of 500 if we had to go there. But I'm a frugal guy. I want to like try to cut that budget down as much as possible, even though hundreds of dollars for a keyboard is still quite a bit. But when you think about it logically, I spend a third of my life on a keyboard, just like I spend a third of my life on a mattress. I wish I had a mattress sponsor, but I don't. So I'm just gonna say, get a nice mattress, because if you're gonna sleep on a mattress, because it's a nice thing to do if you're spending a third of your life on it. So I took that same mindset, and I'm like, hey, I spent a third of my life on a keyboard. I might as well get a nice keyboard. So I searched around. I found this company, which is Bastard Keyboards, and I specifically fell in love with this keyboard because I saw the trackball. And I'm like, I've never used a trackball other than I did grow up a little bit with a mouse that had a ball in the bottom of it, not even a laser. So it wasn't even a laser guided mouse. It's like one of those like roly ones. And so that's kind of cool. I've never actually used the trackball by itself to like do, palming it or like doing like little movements like that. So that was kind of cool in its own right. And I'm like, I kind of want to try that. And the company that sells these keyboards, you can buy a DIY kit. So I went ahead, got their DIY kit. I think it's about 250 bucks. I got the switches. The switches are about 20 bucks. And then I got the keycaps, which is now 15 bucks. These are just really standard keycaps, nothing fancy. And these are actually not even that fancy of switches, to be honest. I don't want to endorse them or anything like that, because I don't even know how long they're gonna last. But I might buy a new kit depending at some point. But okay, with that aside, that's like kind of the start of journey of like I wanted to learn how to build a keyboard and everything like that. So basically, this has a flexible keyboard because these are called finger wells. Basically, makes it so it holds the cup of your hand a lot better for ergonomics and everything like that. So these had to have flexible circuit boards. So basically, I had to solder in every single one of these switches and LEDs, because of course you gotta have LEDs if you're gonna make a keyboard. So I have to solder all the LEDs and switches in. And there's about 2 points for each of the switches, and then there's 4 points for the LEDs. So that's 6 solder points that you have to solder. Yeah, this is 6 connections you have to solder. And there's a whole bunch of other diodes and other things like that you have to solder in this thing. So in total, with 2 keyboards of a 4x6 layout, with another 8 keys, over 50 keys that you have to solder onto your keyboard with all the LEDs. It is 400 solder points. So getting this keyboard and then 3D printing the case, which is essentially free for me because I just have a 3D printer, lots of plastic. So I 3D printed the case, put it, and like I started just kind of like messing around, just seeing how it's gonna all work and everything like that. Then tested. I tried to search through my house to get some solder. I'm not endorsement, but I'll just show you guys anyway. I got this Ryobi solder thing because I use Ryobi tools a bunch. So I have this solder thing to put a battery right there, and then I have this solder right here. It's like Rosin Core 6040, I think, or I don't know. It's nothing too fancy, or I don't know what fancy is. I just had this lying around from like, I think this is really old, to be honest. This is probably actually from my high school time, over 10 years ago. But hey, I got all this stuff, and I went at it. 3 or 4 nights of soldering, and 400 solders later, I had myself the full keyboard working. I had a couple hiccups though along the way. There's a few solder points that weren't quite strong enough, so I had to kind of hunt them down. It was actually kind of easy to hunt them down because basically it's like, hey, where does it not work? Because they're all kind of in line. So it's kind of, you just have to go down the line and be like, where is it not actually working, and find those points, and then you just, resolder it or add more solder, so on and so forth. So it's actually not too hard to fix it and everything like that. So I kind of learned how to solder. I learned a lot about how the electronics work of it and everything like that. So that's kind of cool and everything like that. So now that I have myself a ergonomic keyboard, what next? Well, this is not the end of the story, guys. So basically, I took this back to work, and I basically started with the default QWERTY layout, which that's when I realized I don't know how to type. Yes, I'm a programmer that doesn't know how to type. What I've been doing my whole life is I've been typing like this, where my left hand is covering about 60 to 70% of the keyboard and my right hand just assists. Mainly this is brought because I grew up playing StarCraft, and StarCraft, if you know anything about StarCraft, you're on your mouse over here and your left hand is doing all the work all across the keyboard, doing the F keys, doing the controls, pressing all the other keys. It's doing all the work. So that's basically how I grew up. I learned how to type with the keyboard. I could almost type with like 40 words per minute with my left hand alone. Add my other hand, I can get up to maybe 60, 50 to 60. So that's basically what it was for me. So getting this, I'm like, I don't know how to type. I legitimately don't know how to type. I don't know how to touch type. Touch typing is where you have like the 2 fingers on like the 2 notches, the F and J keys. So I didn't know how to touch type, and I'm like typing on this. I'm getting like 15 words per minute after the first week of practicing. And it was gruesome. Like my brain wanted to rip out from the skull and just be like, what are you doing to yourself? So I'm like, you know what? This is a new challenge. This is a new game. So I went ahead and researched a bunch about keyboard layouts and decided that I wanted to try Dvorak. And why is it? Well, Dvorak is a very popular keyboard layout, but mainly I saw all the vowels are right here. So you got the A, O, E, U, and then I right there. So you got all of that right there, which is actually really cool, or really good for Japanese, because Japanese, if you know anything about it, is kaki kuke ko, aka a I U E O, like a I O U kind of thing. So like it's all right there, a E I O U, I guess. It's all right there to be able to type super easily. Right hand is all of the consonants, and left hand all the vowels, just like doing boom boom boom, like every single sound in the Japanese alphabet. So really, it was kind of cool because I like typing or I like to just practice Japanese every now and then because I know how to speak some Japanese. So like basically doing that, I'm like, I'm gonna stick with Dvorak because it's kind of motivating me to like learn a little bit of Japanese or practice Japanese every now and then, especially typing. So choosing Dvorak, I started and ended my first week of practicing in Dvorak at about 10 to 15 words per minute. Very slow. Like, you know how it's very, very slow. But I committed to it. I committed to it hard. Basically at work, between like any work thing, I was kind of switching between keyboards whenever I had to do something like important versus like, oh, I'm kind of just cruising along. I basically practiced about 30 hours on a website called keybr.com, keybr.com. Or, sorry. But that website, I have about 30 hours in it at this point. Actually, probably way over 30 hours. But after 30 hours of practicing with this keyboard, I'm now at 50 words per minute. And just for time reference, that's hours practicing that website, but that's about 3 months of me practicing on this keyboard. So I'm basically at top speeds that I normally would do on this keyboard in 3 months. And this journey of the whole project itself has probably been 4 to 5 months. So it's kind of cool how, like, you know, you start a project like this and just see where it goes and see how many skills you learn along the way. I learned how to solder really well now. I'm very confident with my soldering. I know a lot more about keyboards and how they work and the firmware software of them. I know how to type in a whole new like keyboard layout, which that's kind of cool. Like I can probably now go and do these kind of these are column kind of keyboards, so like it's all lined up a column rather than staggered. So like that's kind of cool, like learning how to type on that kind of keyboard and type it decently effective. Like it's kind of a fun experience. Hopefully this is an inspiration that you guys can learn to just like try new crap, try new stuff. Like just figure it out, do it. It's gonna make you do cool things eventually. And yeah, hopefully that inspires you guys to do your own cool stuff. I know this thing, it's really fun. I love it. Like every single time I pull it out, it's a fun exercise just to type. I just love it so much. I don't know. Go try it out yourself. Like, subscribe. I don't have any sponsorship here, but I do like this. This is Bastard Keyboard if you want to go and check out their stuff. But yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.